Hey, what's up, YouTube? Brian Fagioli here, and let me tell you, one of my favorite products that I own is my Amazon Echo, which is it uses Alexa as a voice assistant for my home, and it's not extremely useful. I use it to I ask it the weather. I get some information from it sometimes. It's constantly getting better, but it's definitely not perfect. But one of the really cool things I like about my Echo is that I can tell it to turn my lights on and off. It can control like Internet of Things devices in your home, right? So, I forget what I paid for the Echo originally. It was like $200, and it's a really great speaker. I can pair it to like my iPhone, my iPad, play some music. I can tell it to play some music if I want, get questions. The thing is, I keep it in my bedroom, right? So I wanted Alexa throughout my house. So I have it like on my bedroom, but I also kind of wanted it like in my living room / kitchen. It's kind of, they're close together. So rather than buy another Echo, I purchased this. This is the Echo Dot. And what's cool about the Echo Dot is that it's less expensive. It's smaller, and you can kind of, in a living room setting, you can kind of hide it away to where it's not, it's not being an attention grabber. Like things like a router in a living room, I like to be kind of conservative, so it doesn't take away the focus from other things. The Echo Dot does that as well, is that it's smaller, so it shouldn't really, people won't come and tell them, like, what the heck is that giant cylinder? It's much, much smaller. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox that. I have an accessory for this as well, which is kind of weird and cool at the same time. So as you can see on the front, it tells you some things you can do, like Alexa, play today's hits on Pandora, wake me at 6 a.m., dim my lights. That actually is very cool. Sometimes when I'm falling asleep for like a nap, I do like to nap on the weekends, I'll tell Alexa, like, wake me at 4 p.m. I'll be laying down for like a 3 p.m. nap. I don't want to sleep the whole day away. And it's easier than adjusting or fiddling things with my alarm clock. It's actually really great. On the other side of the box here, we see Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Alexa, and it shows you some different services that you can use with it, such as Wemo, which is my choice for outlet adapters for turning on lamps and things in my home. On the back, we see designed around your voice, add voice control to your speakers, and this can act as a speaker on its own, but it's not as powerful as the normal Echo. So the idea is that you could pair this to a Bluetooth speaker or other type of speaker, a home stereo system, and while it can work on its own fine, if you're like an audiophile or you have like a really nice stereo setup, you can use this with the stereo rather than listening to the little speaker inside the Dot. All right, so let's go ahead and open it up. Packaging is pretty bare bones here. It is an inexpensive device, which is fine with me. So let's see what we got. So we got the device itself, which is like a little hockey puck. We have a booklet. We have a micro USB cable for plugging this into the wall, as well as if I can get this out here. It's gonna tear into the box. I don't know why this is so hard to get out. Goodness gracious. I don't know if I'm missing something here. There we go. It's actually a weird design, this charger. It's all black for whatever reason, except for this part, which is white, which I don't understand. It's going to the wall. You can't even see it. Why bother making it two-tone colors? But okay, cool. You can see the Amazon logo there. So it's a matte black, and then the Amazon logo is glossy. You can see that gloss there. So we have, a little card here that says things to try. So it gives you some information, how to set an alarm, how to shop on Amazon, how to play music, just some tips and tricks for using it. Here's some more here, questions and answers, news and weather, blah, blah, blah. Also in the box, we have a little booklet, which shows which buttons do what. So we have an action button, microphone off button, volume up and down, the light ring, the aux audio output, which is cool, like I said, for connecting it to like a bigger stereo system. And we have the charger. And it kind of tells you how to set this up. So I already have an Echo set up in my home, so this should be pretty easy to set up. So let's go ahead and look at the device. So I chose the white one, and I thought this would just look better in my living room, being white. But it really doesn't make a difference, and I'll explain that in a moment. But as you can see, we have the buttons on the top. It has the classic light ring, which will light up like the normal Echo does. On the bottom, we see just some information. This looks like probably for the speaker. We have like a speaker grill cutout. On the back, we see the micro USB for charging and the 3.5mm port. Very nice. So it looks very classy, that white color, right? Well, what if I told you I was going to cover that up? So when I bought this Amazon, I bought the Dot, and I was kind of shopping around Amazon, and I came across this weird product, and I'll show you what it is. This is the Echo Dot leather case. And you're probably saying to yourself, like, Brian, why would you need a case for something that's sitting on a table or a desk? And you're absolutely right. It's a pretty stupid product, right? Like, it doesn't need, this doesn't need protection, but this is designed to maybe spruce up the Echo Dot for like I said, for a living room. The problem is, since this is like the white model, it's totally going to cover up. You'll have no idea this is the white model. But let's see how it looks. This is actually leather, so it's saddle tan, and this should make it look a little bit more classy for like my living room, or for any kind of room you may have. And we can see in the back there's different colors. So there's blue, there's a white, like these are like, I think those are like a plastic. And then you have leather, like a maroon leather, a black leather, and this saddle tan. And I thought the saddle tan just looked classy. I don't know. Let's see. And so I know some people online have complained that it doesn't really, like the Dot, I'll show you what I mean. Like the Dot doesn't really fit snugly. But at the same time, I don't think you need it to fit snugly because you're not carrying this around. It's not like it's for a smartphone case. All right, so it's in kind of like a cheap plastic, and let's see, to open it, we go like this. It looks kind of like a donut, right? So it's plastic on the bottom, but it's wrapped in real leather, and it looks really nice. I don't know if it'll even do it justice in this video, but it feels like it is real leather, and it looks really nice and rustic. So we're gonna place this in, and as you can see, that lines up there, but you see it just kind of falls out, like if you were to, and you can put it on any angle you want. I don't think that's a big deal. People have complained about that, but it's literally going to go like that and then go on my desk, or in my case, it's going to go on a table in my living room. I like the leather. I think the white looks very nice, would look nice in like a bedroom or like a dorm room. The white plastic, it looks a little, I don't know, childish looking, and it has the Amazon logo, which is fine, but I kind of like that once I stick it in here, it looks much more, it looks like a more adult device, which sounds a little crazy, I know, but it looks like a more adult device. You don't see the Amazon logo anymore. It looks like, you know, it almost looks like, it almost looks like a coaster. It's like this is like a coaster holder. There's a bunch of coasters in there. But I think it's really nice, and I think this will look good in the living room. I want to say I paid like between $10 or $15 for this leather case, which is really kind of expensive for what it does. But at the same time, I think it's pretty neat. I like it, folks. So that's it for the unboxing. I'm not going to review this even because it's not a new device. I just wanted to check it out myself before I hooked it up. So if you have any questions about the leather case or the Echo Dot, leave them in the comments below. But you pretty much should know what you're getting with these. They're really nice devices. There are concerns about privacy from some people having an always listening device in their home. I'm not concerned about that. However, I'm okay with that. You know, you have to, and that's your decision to make. It always comes down to, as long as you're educated about what it does. So I know that it's an always listening device. I understand that. And I am trusting Amazon with that, knowing that I'm trusting them with my information. Whether they deserve that, I can't answer. I'm making that decision. I'm empowered to do that. Maybe you feel that, you shouldn't have an always listening device in your home. I'm okay with it, but you have to make that call. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.